Here's my projected lineup for the Auburn Tigers football team in 2025. Starting at quarterback, we have the transfer from Oklahoma, Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold in 2024 threw for 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, with a 47.8 QBR, ranking 88th among other quarterbacks in the nation. Some people don't think Jackson Arnold is going to be our starting quarterback, and we're still going to get another guy before the transfer portal closes. But I would say there's probably a 99% chance as of December 16th, 2024, that Jackson Arnold will be Auburn's starting quarterback in 2025. 5-star plus quarterback coming out of high school. This guy's got a super high ceiling. He's got max aura. He's going to bring the team around him up. And just the whole Oklahoma thing, I don't buy it. I know he had a bad season at Oklahoma. He got benched. What did anybody expect out of the guy? First season starting, all his starting wide receivers got hurt. He had 11 different offensive line combinations throughout the season. His starting running back was hurt. His offensive coordinator was fired in the middle of the season. So don't let his short tenure at Oklahoma make you think he's not a good quarterback. He is a great quarterback. And under Hugh Freeze in this system, I think they're going to refine his skill set, teach him what he needs to know. He's going to put the team on his back in a couple of games. Auburn hasn't had a guy like this in forever. Think about our quarterbacks in the past few years. Peyton Thorne, TJ Finley, Robbie Ashford, the bad version of Bo Nix. We have not had any good quarterbacks in forever. And even before that, Jared Stidham, he was pretty good, but he wasn't somebody you could count on to win you the game in clutch moments. I mean, we really haven't had a guy like this in forever. A guy that was this highly recruited, this high of a ceiling. I think we got ourselves a good quarterback. Now moving on to running back, we have Damari Alston. I think Damari Alston is going to play the most out of the running backs we have, but we also have Jeremiah Cobb and the new transfer from UConn, and we have Alvin Henderson coming in as well, the freshman. So there'll be 4 good running backs in the room, but Damari Alston, he's been patiently waiting his time. He's been here since Tank Bigsby's been here. That's the original reason he came here. Tank Bigsby was his favorite running back. He was the 22nd running back out of the class. And yeah, he's been patiently waiting for his time. He's now going to be a senior. Damari Alston in 2023 had 64 carries, 320 yards, and in 2024 he had 52 carries for 276 yards. 2 touchdowns in 2023 and 2 touchdowns in 2024. So his production actually came down a little bit this last season to the season before. But he's a great running back. We've all seen the flashes with Damari Alston. He's really exciting, and he really hasn't had a chance to fully show his skill case. I mean, he only had 52 carries last year. And think about Jarquez Hunter had 150, and we were all clamoring for him to get the ball more. So Damari Alston really didn't have much of a chance last year to show that he could be a dominant running back in the SEC. I'm excited to see him get the full load of carries, be the main running back one, the main guy in that room, to see what he can do. I think he's going to be a great running back. Now moving on to left tackle. I believe our starting left tackle will be Xavier Chaplin from Virginia Tech, a transfer. He transferred yesterday as of December 16th, 2024. He is 6'7", 323 pounds, and depending on where you look, he's either the first or the second offensive tackle out of the transfer portal. This guy, I don't believe he will be like Percy Lewis, because a lot of people were excited about Percy Lewis over the offseason. He did not turn out the way we all thought he would. I don't think this guy will turn out like him. I mean, he's a way higher recruit out of the portal. All the portal experts thinks he was a lot better than Percy Lewis was. I think we have ourselves a solid left tackle for the 2025 season. Oh, and he has 2 years left of eligibility. So if he's good, he can be our starting left tackle in 2026, unless he goes to the NFL. Now for left guard, we have Deandre Carter. Deandre Carter is going to be a redshirt freshman. He was highly recruited out of high school last year, 345 pounds, 6'4", out of California. I believe this guy is going to be ready. No one really talked about him last year, but I've heard he's been quietly working really hard, and I think he's going to be ready to slide into the starting left guard position next year. He was highly recruited for a reason. So Deandre Carter, left guard. For the center, it's going to be Connor Lew. He came in as a freshman, had a really good first year. His sophomore year was even better. So of course, he's going to start his junior year as well. So with all the problems we've had on offensive line throughout the past few years, we at least have Connor Lew. He's our anchor, our center. You can count on him. He's going to be good next year. And he is 6'3", 293 pounds. Now for right guard, I have Jeremiah Wright starting next year. He is 333 pounds, 6'5", and this will be his last year of eligibility. Jeremiah Wright has been here for so long. I think he's been here since Gus Malzahn even. I don't know how he still has eligibility left, but he was solid last year, so I'm sure he'll be solid again next year. Yeah, he got here in 2020, and he was a reserve defensive tackle. 2021 did not see game action. In 2022, he was the backup at left guard. 2023, I'm pretty sure he was injured the whole entire season. And last year in 2024, he's the starter at right guard, started every single game, and he was the team captain against Alabama. I would say we have right guard on lock. Nothing to worry about there with Jeremiah Wright. Now for right tackle, I have Dillion Wade starting in 2025. Dillion Wade has a interesting history here at Auburn. He came in as a transfer in 2023 from Tulsa. Last year, they tried to put him at guard because they believed that's where he would be playing in the NFL, and that fits his size more at 6'3", 303 pounds. But it did not work out so well. So even though it might not be his ideal position in the NFL, I think they're going to slide him in at right tackle. And he's always done good whenever he's played tackle, so that's another position on the offensive line. I think we have nothing to worry about at right tackle. At tight end, I have Brandon Frazier starting in 2025. He is 6'7", 262 pounds. Last year would have been his last year playing here at Auburn if he would not have gotten hurt. So he got an extra year of eligibility. So he's either a 5th or a 6th year senior. But he was, at the beginning of the year last year, he looked really good. And people were starting to get excited about him. And unfortunately, he got injured. Of course, the tight ends, there's a lot of rotation. So Rico Walker, the transfer from Maryland, will definitely play some. And whoever else we get in the transfer portal. I think Brandon Frazier has started to step up his game a lot. And he can be a blocking tight end or even go out for routes. It's going to be an under-talked about position in the offseason, but Brandon Frazier, he's somebody to look out for in 2025 and to be excited about. So again, tight end position on lock. Nothing to worry about there. Now for the first wide receiver, I have Cam Coleman starting in 2025. And everybody already knows about Cam Coleman. He has so much hype around him. Played great last year. He's probably the best player on offense, or maybe even the whole entire team. He had 37 receptions for 598 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. In 2025, I fully expect him to break 1,000 yards, be the first Auburn 1,000-yard receiver in over a decade, maybe even a Heisman finalist. If this whole offense can not look terrible, absolutely abysmal, like it's done in the last few years, I think Cam Coleman has a really good chance to be talked about as the best wide receiver in college football. And now at the slot, I have Malcolm Simmons. Malcolm Simmons started over half the season last year once they figured out how good he really was. Super good player. I'm really excited, like with Cam Coleman, to see what he can do next year. Last year, he had 40 receptions for 451 yards and 3 touchdowns. I believe that number will go up to around 700 yards unless the offense is just terrible. It'll probably stay around there. I'm more excited about Malcolm Simmons than maybe any other player on the team. I expect a very big season from him. And for the other wideout, I have Perry Thompson starting in 2025. A lot of people will probably think it's Eric Singleton, the Georgia Tech transfer, or maybe some other guy we get in the transfer portal. I'm pretty confident it's going to be Perry Thompson. He wasn't talked about a lot last year, didn't have a big year, I mean, he's seeing his boys, Malcolm Simmons, Cam Coleman, get all this attention, elevate their game. I don't think he's far behind. I think it was just a crowded room last year. If he can get it all together, figure out the playbook, and realize his full potential, we are going to have the scariest wide receiver room in the SEC, and the Freeze 4 is going to activate. So overall, looking at this roster, it's a lot different than last year, but I think it'll be better than last year. I think overall the personnel on the offense has improved. We're losing Keandre Lambert-Smith, of course, Jarquez Hunter, the two best players on the team. But with the emergence of the young wide receivers, a better quarterback, and a more put-together offensive line, and even a better tight end, I think Brandon Frazier is going to put more work in, be more well-rounded than Fairweather was. I think we're going to have a way better offense in 2025 than 2024. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you disagree, agree, let me know what you think about our offense next year. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.